Good morning, good morning, good morning, Cancers. How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. It might be good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are watching this. I am recording this on the 3rd, but this is for the week of the 4th through the 10th for you guys. Now, I do have to apologize if you've been watching any other sign. I was mistaken. I was looking at the wrong calendar, and the new moon is on the 6th, not the 2nd. So, again, I apologize for that error, but we do have a new moon in Libra on the 6th, and it is not on the 2nd. All right. So, if you're watching this before, I apologize for that. So, my name is Patty, and I'm here to do your intuitive tarot. My tarot is different than most, and I'm going to share more information later in an announcement coming in October. But this tarot is probably different than what you would watch. It is a intuitive tarot, but it's also motivational to get you through your struggles, your challenges. It is also divine driven, so a lot of my downloads that I get are divine. So if it is not something of your uh, ooh, something that is not of what you like. I am not a psychic. I will tell you right now that is not my gift that God gives me. I am an intuitive empath and I do get downloads. I do get sometimes clairvoyant, but it all depends on his timing, not mine. So that's how we roll on this channel. So anyway, it is a collective. It is a general reading. So I come on live when I can. If you want to interact, I love it. But this is a general reading. So some parts may resonate with you, some not, because it may be a message for you or somebody you know or not you. But I really think that some part of it will because there's so many energies that come through and so many messages Divine shares with me that I can't see that it wouldn't be partly for you. But it may be your channel, it may be not. So let's get started. I am going to do a past, present, and future. I'm also going to do a divines card. I'm doing the past again, guys, because there's a lot of negative. There's a lot of low vibration going on, especially with this new moon coming up. A lot of it in Libra. It's going to be really constructive conversations. And the reason why I say conversations is because we're in Mercury retrograde. So this is sort of like really conflicting, like as I've told you before, trying to get the elephant out of the room. Gosh, am I upside down again? I am. Um, Getting the elephant out of the room, trying to get these hard conversations done, trying to get things to move forward after the first year in a positive manner, a way that you should be directed to go in a more higher vibration, which means get rid of the crap now. Pretty much get rid of the crap that you have in your life now. And what I mean by crap is the low vibrational stuff that is keeping you stuck. The people, the bad habits, the job, whatever it is that's holding you back from your purpose and your calling. Definitely. Oh my gosh, this is in. And you're going to see in your readings, guys, a lot about wands and swords because this is a time that is really, really getting down to the nitty gritty in truth. Okay. And the reason why is again the Mercury energy. We got Mercury with this new moon, we got Mercury, Uranus, and Mars all sort of intermingling. And then we also have the sun opposing the moon again. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. I am going to have a new moon reading. So if you haven't watched the announcement below, please watch it because you're going to think that you're going to catch me live and you probably won't because of the things that are changing in my life. So watch that announcement again. If you have, thank you. But the other thing is that you'll want to subscribe and hit the bell for two reasons. One, you hit the bell and hit all, that will get you to know when I am on live for like the full moon readings, new moon readings, or your sign readings. But also, two, it will get you what I'm trying to do for till the end of the year, seeing if we can do it or not, is get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'll give free readings, 3 to 6 free readings, 30-minute long, one on one. You get to do one-on-ones, or there'll be 3 readings, 3 coachings. Depends on what people want. Once we get to that 1,000, it's not for the monetary reasons. It is for growing the community, but also too, I cannot do live readings on my phone mobily. I've tried it in Oklahoma when my computer crashed. It didn't allow me to do that because I hadn't hit 1,000 subscribers. Why? I don't know. But I can't do any downloads live. I can't do any readings live. So that's the goal, is to get to 1,000 for that reason. All right, so let's get started. Let me pull your past card here real quick. So I will talk about the Divines card. Now, for those of you that are brand new, the Divines card is your message to you, if this resonates with you, of something you've been really struggling with, or a question, or you're wondering, oh, am I going to get married? Am I going to get this job? Am I going to get rich? Blah, 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 that kind of thing. But this is his message to a struggle that is really happening with you right now. So whatever you're asking, why you're watching tarot, why you're curious, there's something going on deep inside you why you're here. So we've got it in reverse. So it's sort of separated. It's sort of like Divine's like, I'm not connecting with you because your roots are in the wrong place. So this was in reverse, roots of abundance. So it's in reverse and it's in the wrong place. I would say that what he's trying to tell you is your mind is on the world and not on him. And what I mean by that is on spirit, Holy Spirit, God, divine, whatever. Your spiritual side is not running your life. Your earth world side is running your life. That is your mindset. Okay. Yeah. Some of your past, this is because of your balance. You're not balanced. We have the 6 of Cups, but there is just not any balance there. Again, this is your grounding. This is your roots. So something is just sort of off, and that is basically how you think and how you process things. Cancers, this is something that can formulate from a worldly thought process to a spiritual process. Now, let me give you an example just so that we can move on from this, because I see what he's got going on these other cards. Is that sometimes when we want to make a decision, we make it of the flesh. If that's another way to think about it, it's something that I want, not what's good for me or what spirit. Let's go to eating, guys. So I really would love to have that piece of chocolate cake, but you know what? I'm trying to lose weight, but if I eat that piece of chocolate cake, I'm defeating the purpose. This is Libra and Mercury energy. This is that conflict I'm talking about. And so the thing is, the root and the grounding is, where am I going to have discipline? Where am I going to have grounding? Where am I going to say, no, I'm not going to eat that cake because my goal is to lose this weight. And if I eat that cake, it's just going to hinder and slow me down. That's low vibrational, and I give in to my flesh. Whereas if you say, okay, God, Holy Spirit, give me the strength to push away that piece of cake, as bad as I want it, because I really, really, really want it. Help me, give me the strength to push it away. Okay. That is the type of mindset I'm talking about. So your flesh wants it. Do you give into it? Or are you disciplined in reaching for that the second dimension where you cannot see it and say, I have faith that you're going to give me the strength to push that piece of cake away? That's discipline. Maybe you'll say, well, yeah, but that's just me. No, it is actually discipline. When I don't know how many clients I had when I was bodybuilding and running gyms. How many clients that just gave in? Oh, I had. Well, how come? Because it's a psychological thing. It is something that we've trained our brains to basically give up in. So that's what I'm talking about. Divine is saying, where are your roots? Are you disciplined in me, or are you disciplined in earth? Which way are you disciplined? Okay. And the reason why I'm going there is, and that is the number 2, because the number 2 is either bringing something together into a partnership or it is blowing it apart. This is Libra energy. We've got Libra in Mars in the new moon energy, because it's either really constructive or it's really destructive. That's the way Mars is working. and that's the way things are happening. So it is going to be really about discipline this week, guys. Really about discipline this week, because this is a commitment to yourself. This is your current energy. This is the number 9. Number 9 in numerology can take two ways. You can actually go a couple different ways as well. But the number 9 in this case is how important it is to you. Where is your discipline? What is your priority? Where are you going to make your priority this week? Okay, the other thing about number 9 is that it's almost at an end, it's almost at a completion. So we have to look at it, where you're reaching from. But because your roots of abundance are upside down, reversed, I believe that this means that you really need to stay focused in on discipline this week. Why? Because something's coming up where you're going to have to make a decision. And that is the number 3. You have to acknowledge what's going on in your life right now, that you have to make a decision because you're off balance. And you're off balance only because of your root. Your root system underground is sort of like when if you have a plant and you water it too much, or you're in the garden, you water it too much, things start falling over because that root system becomes weak and it cannot hold that ground because it's mush underneath there. That's sort of what's happening right now. So we need to strengthen that ground, strengthen that foundation, and get to a place where those roots can take hold and have a solid foundation. So right now it's not. It's sort of like your plant is leaning. You're the plant in the garden and you're sort of leaning. Okay. The reason also is your first card out is the 8 of Swords. Again, this is about your mindset, where it is happening. This is Libra energy. This is Mars energy. This is new moon energy also coming in. And that's this week because it is about conflict. So we're going to have conflict of our flesh versus our spirit. So we have to allow our spirit to supersede, supersede over our flesh. And why do we have to do that? Because we can actually get more balance, more peace, more calm. We actually can get to our purpose and our calling much quicker. We can also see things. We can also trust in our intuition and have faith in our intuition, because something is ending really, really quickly. Now, this could have happened already because this is something that your first card out with the 8 of Swords, and then we have the 10 of Swords. Has to do with truth. Maybe the truth came out because we're in the Mercury retrograde. This is about maybe something happened where somebody said something and the whole truth finally came out. Okay, this truth finally came out. It's ended. It's over. The elephant is now out of the room. And then you have the 9 of Cups, which is something that you really, really wanted to get done. You really, really wanted to happen. Okay. And the reason why that's joyful, because this brings you closer, more peace, more joy, more happiness, might even brought that bond closer. Again, it might have turned that number 2 from splitting apart and start bringing that bond and relationship closer. Okay. Somebody's not happy about that though. I don't know who it is, but there's somebody that this whole communication, this whole new commitment to truth, or walking in truth, or your authentic self, or sharing information in truth. Again, your current energy for your card this week for the Oracle is 9 and commitment. This is a commitment not only to you, but only to the divine, to say, I'm going to walk in truth. I'm going to be truth. I'm going to be love. I'm going to share love. I'm not going to be destructive like this Mars energy. I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm going to say that that's going to, you're going to move forward. Somebody's going to move more forward in the future, and it could be now or in the very new future, towards more spiritualism, a more spiritual life than a more earthly life. That may push somebody away because you have the 4 of Cups next. And it's okay, because the thing is that maybe by you stepping into your spiritual life and your spiritual thought process, and more thinking more not of the flesh, but of your spirit, then they will maybe look at you and say, wow, I want some of that. Because you know what? Life isn't going so good for me. And, things are not turning around. And that's because of the world, because of the way that that person's processing. Okay. And then the Three of Wands is definitely for your future. There is something definitely coming up for your future in a choice that you're going to have to make. And it is really hard because, you know, the more the world becomes hateful, the more it becomes destructive in just a lot of ways. You know, no matter what you talk about, there's going to be a conflict. No matter what you say, there's going to be a conflict. This is all the energies of the new moon, the planets, the Mercury retrograde. There's going to be a conflict. So you have to make choices in what you're going to stand up for, basically. For me, I stand up for my spiritual life, and I don't bring it up. Usually with people, I make my choices and decisions, you know, based off of that, but I don't have to share it. I don't have to say, well, I'm making my, you know, I don't believe in, you know, whatever. And that's because that's the way, you know, divine tells me, whatever divine tells me, then I move that way. I don't say, well, you know what, because man said it's good, I'm going to follow it. I don't do that. I say, I ask divine, is this something I should do? I should not do? Is this something I should move forward with? Is this somebody I should be, you know, mixed in with, that kind of a thing? So that is for your future. Somebody's not going to like it. Somebody's actually sort of pissed because they might have been your friend and you've changed, and now you're not the same person because you're being your authentic you. You're really not your authentic you before. Okay. And then you have the 7 of Cups, definitely a decision that is going to have to be made. Okay, so these 3 cards in the future, you're going to have to make a decision. I've stepped away from a lot of people, and some people have stepped away from me because I believe in God and I believe that he guides my life, and I have gifts from him, and they don't like that. It's uncomfortable to them. But I cannot force anybody to believe in what I believe. It's only my experience, my journey, as well as yours is your experience in your journey. I just know that thinking of the world and the flesh doesn't work for me anymore. And it never did, because my life went plummeting down into a spiral till the point where I got in trouble and realized, you know what? I can keep going this way, or I can change my life around. And when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of going down, 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 you stop. If you don't stop, that's insanity. All right. So you got a lot of conflict here. There's something ending, but it's based because of your roots, of your perspective of way you think. Okay, you've got something that is coming up that's going to need a commitment, and that needs to be the commitment from you in how you're going to handle it. But it comes to an end. This conflict comes to an end. It's a good thing. While you go through the conflict, whatever it is for you or whoever it is for you, it's not really comfortable. It's like trying to push that elephant out of the house in through the door. It's like trying to get it through the door. It's very, very hard to go through, but you're going to be relieved and happy at the very end. So whoever is trying to bring out the truth in something, let them bring it out. If they're bringing it to you, if you need to bring the truth out to somebody, do it now, because this is the time. We have the retrograde until October 16th. This is the time to do it, to release all those negative energies. And especially now, we're going to be getting ready to go to the full moon, because the new moon is all about a new cycle. Start today. Start walking in the truth today. Start making that commitment to yourself today. Say you're going to, you know, share your feelings with whoever you've been holding those feelings inside, and share those. Get them out and have the truth, because then that old self and that old feeling is going to go away. Because if you don't make it go away, divine's just going to make it harder for you, or he's going to do it for you and you're not going to be prepared. Trust me, I've been there, done that. And when he says, I want you to get rid of this, I get rid of it, because it's like that Band-Aid. I'm going to rip it off fast, because I don't want it to be a torture slow. Because, yeah. And the reason why he does that is he's trying to hold us accountable and make commitments to ourselves. Now, for somebody else, there may be a commitment of love, but there's something hiding in the truth there. Somebody is definitely hiding something in the truth. So get to the grounding, get to the roots of the friendship, relationship, whatever it is. and you might have to dig down, and that might be a choice in the future that you like, do I want to be friends with this person? Do I want to be in a relationship with this person? Is it beneficial to not only myself, but in their growth as well? Because we're not here to stop with us, Cancers. We're here to help and grow each other, in love and light, not to point out our faults, but to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm not really good at this. How can I change it? That kind of a thing. But you got to be willing. That's the commitment part. Somebody has to be willing. Okay. All right. So I don't know who that's for, but I love seeing the sun in the center because there is definitely a lot of energy with the sun. Okay, this person that is going through this, whoever, if this is you or another person, is very young. The person is very childlike in nature. There is definitely a message coming to them with truth, and it's not going to be slow. This could be you, or this could be somebody that is, coming to you, trying to share this, whatever it is that needs to stop. I'm going to say it's conversation because of Mercury retrograde. Okay, there is something, and somebody's not happy, really just not happy about it, just not having it. They're just the Four of Cups. It's like, you know what? You guys go do what you want to do, but you know what? I'm going to just sit here and wallow in my own pity and self guilt because we have the Eight of Swords and the Four of Cups. So there is somebody who's a little bit, I'm not saying that they're young, like physically young, but their mentality is young. They are very carefree. They're a creative kind of person. They're not more of the logical kind of brain. They're more of the creative kind of brain. So they're thank you. So, they said they're in La La Land a little bit. I'm like, really? Come on now. But that's sort of a good way of putting it. It's sort of like you're in fantasy and not what reality is. Imagination is one thing, but fantasy is another. They're in, this person's more in a fantasy la la land, is what I'm hearing. But this person needs to learn how to have an imagination, but not have fantasy. So imagination is a healthy way to think that's of something that you can actually vision that can grow into a real thing. Fantasy is sort of a perverted imagination where you are fantasizing about something that is really twisted or should not be happening or not right, or it's definitely not of spiritual. Imagination is of spiritual vision, that kind of a thing, where fantasy is more earth, because it just doesn't make sense a lot of the times. I'll give you an example. Somebody's married, you want to go after one of the married partners, and then you guys have an affair, that kind of thing. Perverted fantasy. It's not an imagination. It's not real. It's not of spirit, because spirit doesn't create confusion. Spirit does not take another partner for you to have. It just doesn't work that way. Because if that partner is with somebody, that is their partner. You need to leave it alone. Cheating, whatever, because that's not divine, because divine doesn't do destructive kind of things. Anyway, so this person, sort of, I hate that saying, but come back down to earth a little bit, and reconnect where their grounding is. This is again all about grounding. All right, the number 2 and the number 9, and then the number 3, then we have the number 6. Definitely. And it's also too a way of protection to be in fantasy land, because you really don't want to see the truth about something. All right. All right. Let me see if there's anything else here. This also could be, thank you. So this also could be a relationship thing. Really need to get down to the nitty gritty because there's a commitment for something going on here, about talking about the hard stuff. Somebody, again, might be living in fantasy of what the relationship is, and in reality, it's not even that. Okay. We're looking for the future. There's going to be a hard decision for somebody here in the future, I'd say in the next couple of weeks, because the 7 of Cups is your challenge card. Okay, that is your challenge card. You have a lot of a lot of things to think about. You got a lot of things that you're looking at, but you really got to focus in on one thing, the roots. Okay, so you've got to pick something. You've got to make a decision in something. However, you got to look at the roots of it. Where is it? What is it? Why? Do the 5 W's. And the thing is, do it from a spiritual end, not a flesh end. I need to make this decision. Is it selfless? Is it selfish? Is it of something that the divine can have glory from, that I am the conduit through it, or does it end with me, flesh? Okay, that's kind of thing. So if I buy a car and I buy a really nice car and I don't share it with anybody, I don't give any rides with anybody, that's selfish. So maybe somebody needs a ride to work and you're like, no, you're not going to step in my new car, kind of a thing. That is selfish. That is earthbound. Okay. Spirit would be, yeah, come on, come on, come on, get in. Maybe you're afraid that it's going to get a little bit dirty, but you know what? You don't share that with them. Hey, don't get my car dirty. Don't do this. Don't do that. That's selfish. Selfless would be saying, hey, come on, I'll give you a ride. Yeah, I know you're in hard times, so come on, I'll give you a ride. And you're open to that. That is selfless love. Okay. All right, so let's see if there's anything else here for Cancers. But you're going to have some real hard conversation with somebody. Definitely the truth is going to come out for somebody. This is going to be a win-win, though. This is something that somebody needed to hear because we're talking about commitment, your current energy. This is something that somebody needed to hear. Somebody needed to get this off their chest. But also, too, they're going to see, oh, I didn't realize that I was that way. And then they're going to grow from that. And this is a win-win because the sun is all about not only being open, but being vulnerable, being sharing, and brings things a lot closer in love. Okay. All right. Am I doing it? I don't know what is wrong with me, but I just really want to hold or do the cards upside down this week. I don't know what it is. All right, so for our last cards out, we have the Ace of Wands, Judgment, and the Queen of Swords again. You know what? Somebody is afraid of judgment. However, there's like a new offering. Hey, can we sit down and talk about it? Because I really don't want us to fight. I really don't want us to be angry at each other. That's sort of that offering. But again, you've got, again, flesh versus spirit, your mindset, your roots. Where is it coming from? Are you, thinking more of, it's sort of funny how we used to say, what would Jesus do? Because he's godlike. He's of love, compassion, empathy, or whatever. Whereas earth flesh might be saying, you know what? I'm just going to say it because I'm going to say it and not really care about how that other person might hear it. Okay. Because sometimes we can say one word, but depending on the intonation and everything that we use can be very earthly or change it very spiritually. Okay. So you got to be really, really careful with your words this week. Again, Queen of Swords, about the truth. So be the authentic who you're supposed to be this next week, and also to walk in the truth, whatever it is. Get these emotions out, get the elephant out of the closet again, because the balance is off here. The grounding is off. Somebody is really just not, and this is going to affect your future. Definitely from even today forward, it's going to affect your future on how you think, how you process, and how you make your decisions and how you speak your words. So it's really easy for words to come out mean or hatey, full of hate, or just snarky, I guess is the word, when we can actually control that before we speak. Because once it comes out, it's done. You can't take it back. So be really mindful in the words that you use and how you articulate them this week. But for whoever is coming out and growing and maturing from this, there is a message coming for you that there is something to grow from, and you're going to be happy about it because it's going to bring more joy and more love, and you're going to become more close to somebody. I don't know who it is. It could be somebody from your work. I don't see pentacles here at all. I think this is a friend or a lover or a husband or a wife or a partner or whatever. I think that's what's going on. And it may bring you closer, or it may make that dissipate, but it is for your growth. Embrace it. Thank the divine for it, no matter if it dissipates or if it comes together, because This is the time he's trying to grow you into a more positive, more joy-filled, more high vibrational, more light kind of life. All right. He's trying to get rid of all this. He's trying to get rid of the mud pot, the sewage pot kind of a thing that turns around and you just keep standing in it. Why you keep standing in it? Got to get rid of it. Got to get rid of it. This is the time to do it until the end of the year. Well, the best to do it if you can before this next full moon and when the Mercury retrograde ends. Um, but it will go to the end of the year, at least these energies of just expunging and getting rid of all this negative energy. Because somebody is turning themselves from an old self to a new self. They're thinking more positive, they're working more forward, they're trying to not think of the past. There's somebody thinking more spiritually and not so earthly, more selfless than selfish, more unmaterialistic. Somebody out there is doing that. We're in a transition and a transformation. And I can sense somebody is out there doing that. Good work for you. And always share if you want to share. All right. All right, Cancers, that is your reading. By the way, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, but also to please make sure that you share, because again, we're trying to get to the 1,000 um, subscribers. And I hope to do a sixth on the sixth meeting. As you see, I'm in my leather shop. A lot of the times my daughter's using the office for school, which that is okay. So just make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Take care now. Don't forget to walk in absolute truth and love. Bye bye.